So this is about half a litre of water. In we go with the zest. So we warm this up just slightly, bit of corn flour. Now roughly we want about 6 tablespoons, or 5 of Will's, because they're big. And then just take some of this mixture and just slake it. Can you get me the sugar and the butter ready?
Okay.
Slaking is just like you would thicken a gravy, really, if you wanted to thicken it with corn flour. You must do this with cold water, because if you heat it up instantly, it'll actually start to thicken up anyway. So just pour the mixture onto the corn flour, mix it up, and then throw it back into the pan. And this will actually thicken up really, really well. And that's why we need to keep stirring it, because there's quite a bit of corn flour in here. Got about 100 grams of sugar for this. So I'm just going to use a loose bottom tartlet tin. Soften butter around the edge, Will.
Yep.
Now, it doesn't smell of lemons as yet. All you've got in there is the zest. Because now we're going to add the butter and just mix this together. And then I'm going to throw in the lemon juice. Now, the reason why I don't add this while it's boiling, because I find the flavour sort of deteriorates. So you want a decent amount of lemons to get a really intense flavour. Egg yolks. It's quite important to do this while it's still hot, because you want the egg yolks to cook as well. Roll the pastry. And the secret is not to make it so it splits, Will, innit?
Yes.
It's got a split already in it. That's all right, it'll be fine. We can patch that up. I always turn the pastry every so often. It helps the pastry come away from the board or away from the table. We'll then roll in the pastry over the rolling pin. It's much easier to roll on. But the secret is lift it away from the tin. If you roll it on top of the tin, it's going to cut the pastry. That's it. And then carefully, 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 with really delicate hands. Delicate, delicate, delicate touch. So you lift the pastry up, tuck it into the bottom. And rather than press up, you're actually pressing down. And just make a little circle out of greaseproof paper if you want to throw the baking beans in. You can use flour, a little bit of lentils, even rice will do. But this is just to press the pastry down, A, on the bottom, but B, to stop the sides from collapsing in on themselves. So pop it in the oven, about 190 degrees centigrade. This wants to go in for about 5 minutes before we take the beans out, and then cook it for 10 more minutes. And make sure the base is actually fully cooked before we add our filling. There you go, Will. If you can trim that off as well. And this is the real secret of it. Once you trim it off, you end up with a perfect edge. So I'm going to make my meringue now. So we need about 350 grams of sugar. Lovely. So starting with the meringue, whip up my whites. Now, to get the sugar, what we're going to do is just place it into a tray and then throw it in the oven. This needs to heat up just for a couple of minutes. Take the lemon curd and just gently pour it in. Now, straight in the fridge, just to set, okay?
Yeah.
Straight in the oven now. So the sugar's actually hot. We just want it hot enough to cook those egg whites. Add the first part of the sugar. Turn the machine a little bit faster. Now the second part. You can actually hear the machine start to struggle now. Stop it fully, and then you can throw in the last part of the sugar. There we go. Combine this up, and that's it. There you go, got a nice firm meringue. Well, if you can get the cake out of the fridge, lovely. And then if you can get me a blowtorch, that would be great. Pipe this meringue on. Look at this.